Every day, millions of people use the services of banks throughout the nation. It is true, of course, that a great deal of business is conducted on a cash basis, but the vast majority of business transactions are handled by check. Why is so much business done by check? The answer is easy. Checks are a safe, convenient way of paying for items. It is not necessary for a person to carry large sums of cash. With proper identification, almost anyone can pay for purchases by check. The widespread use of checks has caused a significant increase in the amount of paper used in banks throughout the United States. For many years, banks simply added more and more employees to their staff in order to keep up with the ever increasing paperwork. Eventually, it became obvious that banks simply could not process all the paperwork manually. By January 1st, 1955, a number of banks had initiated programs whereby unit records equipment handled a large percentage of the work. By 1960, many of the banks were actually using computers to do much of the work. However, the number of checks continued to grow, and the banks had to add larger, more efficient computers just to keep up. The introduction of the computer in business created many new and interesting jobs that had not been available before. Both public and private schools began to train unit records, equipment operators, and key punch operators. For a few years, there was a great shortage of people who could work with computers and computer related equipment, although the demand has now lessened. The computer field still offers many opportunities for those who are interested in this field of work. Even with the advent of the computer, the paperwork in banks continued to grow. In most cases, the exact banking procedures that had formerly been handled manually were now being handled by electronic computers. Bankers again became aware that something must be done to alleviate the tremendous burden of this great amount of work. At first, a few banks experimented with the idea of automatically transferring funds from one account to another. They would, with permission from both parties concerned, transfer on a regular date each month a set amount from one account to the other. This could easily be done for mortgage payments or car payments. Instead of a person's writing a check and mailing it to the creditor, the bank would simply transfer the funds and notify both parties. This reduced the number of checks written, but it created a few other problems. Both parties had to remember to deduct or add the proper amount on their records. In addition, the bank sent notification to both parties, which created two more pieces of paperwork. Many banks have now stopped sending notification. They simply guarantee that funds are transferred on the proper day. In this way, some of the paperwork is eliminated. One of the major uses in the Larger cities, such as Chicago, Illinois, and Los Angeles, California, is the automatic transfer of funds to complete a company's payroll procedure. This requires that a bank and its employees agree that on a set day each week or each month, the bank will credit each employee's individual account with the exact amount of his or her pay and charge the company's account for the total amount. The company notifies all employees of the amount credited to their accounts, which relieves the bank of this responsibility. The company no longer has to write checks, which is a great boon to its accounting department. Although automatic transfer of funds initiate new programs of this type. In addition, a large number of depositors continue to prefer to handle their banking in the usual way. The field of banking in the United States has undergone great changes in the past few decades, and many more changes are predicted for the future. Dear Mrs. Short, we are very glad to announce that on Monday, January 4th, our office building, which is located at 210 Worth Street in Charlotte, North Carolina, will officially turn on its unique solar heating system. We are particularly proud of this system because it is your most up to date solar heating system available today. At the present time, there is no other building in the East that has such a modern, efficient heating system. The system will save our company thousands of dollars every year in heating bills, and we will pass these savings along to our customers. In addition, the new system will help to conserve our country's energy. I hope, Mr. Short, that you will join us on January 4th to help us celebrate the installation of this unique heating system. Yours truly. Dear Mr. Wilson, for the past 7 years, I have lived in the south part of Wheeling, West Virginia, and have been a customer of the Wheeling Electric Company. 5 years ago, my electric bill was about $15 per month. 4 years ago, it was $20 per month. It remained at that level until last year. However, for each of the past 3 months, my bill has risen 5%. I can see no justification for such a drastic increase in my electric bill. Will you please look into this matter yourself, Mr. Wilson, and let me know what the trouble could be. Sincerely yours. Dear Mr. King, several days ago we sent you a notice that your payment for gas and electricity for the months of October and November was 6 weeks overdue. However, we have not yet had an acknowledgement from you. We realize, of course, that there could be many good reasons why you have not yet paid your bill, and we are sure you have an explanation. We will understand if you give us a chance. However, you have not given us an opportunity, and we are now faced with the prospect of having to turn your account over to one of our attorneys. If we have to do this, your credit rating will suffer. Each day that passes places your good credit rating in further jeopardy. Please inform us as soon as possible when we may expect payment from you. If you cannot make a full payment at this time, at least send a partial payment. We will expect a letter by return mail. Yours truly. Dear Mr. Mill, several days ago I heard that your company may build a new natural gas pipeline between Dallas, Texas, and Detroit, Michigan. If this is true, our organization, the General Construction Company of Detroit, would like to make a bid on some of the construction work. Will you please let us know the current status of the plans for this pipeline? We know that you will want to give each of the independent companies in the area equal opportunity to make bids on the various parts of this major project. I hope to hear from you by return mail. Very truly yours. Gentlemen, yesterday I drove my car into your service station at 140 3rd Avenue and had the tank filled with lead free gasoline. I have been using your station for the past 5 years, and I have never had any trouble with your service or your products. Yesterday, however, the attendant let me sit in the car for a long time before he came to help me. His attitude was surly, and he acted as though I were imposing on him to ask for special services. He grudgingly cleaned the windows and checked the oil, but he refused to check the pressure in the tires. I asked to see the manager, but he told me that he was the only person on duty at the time. Needless to say, I was quite annoyed with the treatment I received at your station. In the future, I plan to take my business elsewhere. Yours truly. Dear Ms. Chang, I understand that the Alaska Oil Company is planning to build a new service station at the intersection of Lee Street and 3rd Avenue, which is only a few blocks from my home. I hope that the City Zoning Commission will take action to prevent construction of a station at this location. At the present time, there are 4 service stations located within a 3-block radius of this intersection. Formerly, this was a quiet residential street. Since the service stations opened, however, several other businesses have moved to the area. The street is quickly becoming a very busy commercial thoroughfare. Unless we do something soon, I fear the entire neighborhood will lose its residential character. I hope to hear from you concerning this matter. Sincerely yours. Dear Miss Joyce, thank you for your willingness to help the people who live in the vicinity of Lee Street and 3rd Avenue. We appreciate your prompt, courteous reply to our request for assistance. Needless to say, we were also happy to learn that the Zoning Commission is monitoring the commercial development in the area. However, the residents of the community still feel that the construction of the new service station is unnecessary. There are already too many service stations in the area, regardless of the type of construction. The station will add to traffic congestion. We are therefore filing a special petition that we hope will help to prevent construction of this station. Yours truly.